Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Maximilian College Basketball Picks and Analysis for Tuesday, January 13th. I'm your host, Max Hofmeyer, and I've got three plays we will be discussing for today. And as always, make sure to subscribe if you have been tailing any of the plays. But first, as always, let's start with recapping last episode. And in this case, it was Saturday, as there just wasn't a ton to pick from Sunday and Monday, so did not have shows. It was a 2-3 day, which certainly won't kill us. We've still been out to, a nice start so far, but a little disappointing because we were 2-0 to start, but just could not get one of those last three plays to lock in a winning day. So a little disappointed, but hopefully we can get back on track here with today's episode. And for the first play, we're going to head to the barn where Minnesota is plus 2.5 here at home versus Wisconsin. The Badgers are off the biggest win of the new year and, probably all of college basketball, I'd say. Wisconsin hands Michigan their first loss in Ann Arbor, too, as 18.5-point underdogs. Now, unsurprisingly, this was a game we expected Michigan to win. And, you could say that about most double-digit faves that lose outright. But it was only expected, to be a 6-point loss. So it was definitely impressive from a shot quality aspect as well. And if they want to win this game, they're going to need to hit their threes like they did in that one. Wisconsin shot 46% from deep on 33 attempts, which was certainly above their season averages, not from a frequency standpoint, but from an efficiency standpoint, because, this is a Wisconsin team that they shoot a lot of threes, 14th in three-point frequency, but only 195th in efficiency on the year. And even with last game's red-hot shooting efforts from deep, they still are only 31% from three in a Big Ten play. So I'm a little suspect of them to be able to continue that shooting effort. And I just think it's a tough road spot here to continue that red hot shooting. And Minnesota, they've shown they can defend their home court as well. Big wins over Indiana and Iowa. They did lose a tough one in overtime to USC last game, but still 2-1 at home with two pretty big wins there. And it's definitely quite the letdown spot here for Wisconsin off, that massive, massive Michigan win. So I am going to go ahead and take Minnesota for the first play and take the plus 2.5 here, as I think they win this one outright. And for the second play of the card, we got a Big 12 matchup between Houston and West Virginia. The Cougars are laying 13 here at home. First year, West Virginia coach Ross Hodge, massive win, quite the statement win at home last Saturday, as they were able to knock off Kansas in a shockingly high-scoring affair, 86-75. West Virginia, they were able to put up 1.29 points per possession on a Kansas defense that ranks 14th in KenPom, which was definitely a shocker. And, I definitely don't think that they will be able to continue that and replicate their 42% three-point shooting here against, another tough matchup. But definitely, Kansas is tough, but, Houston is just a different level. Hunter Huff, he was incredible for Kansas, made some high-difficulty shots and put up 23 in that effort. But Houston on the road is just a different beast. So not expecting them to continue that. They have played kind of a similar opponent. West Virginia did go on the road and played Iowa State, and they lost that one 80-59. And Iowa State is, I think, closer to the level of a Houston defense. And, points were not easy to come by in that one, and I'm not expecting it again. So for the second play, I'm going to go ahead and take Houston here, minus the 13. Again, kind of a theme here, fading a West Virginia team off just a massive win, tough travel spot, short turnaround. So going to go and take Houston here, as I think West Virginia, finds themselves at like 55 points or maybe even fewer. So I just don't think that's going to be enough here to cover. And for the final play, head to the Big East. Seton Hall hosting UConn here in a big one, and they are plus 5.5. Seton Hall, they've definitely improved a ton year over year. This has been one of the shockers, I think. Maybe a little too much, 14-2 overall. Expected to be 10-6, based on our shot quality expected record, which feels a little more accurate for this team. They're still good. They're not like last year's team, but maybe running a little too hot here, and definitely recently running hot. They've won 3 games in a row, but only win expectancies 44%, 14, and 39%. And 2 of those wins were against Georgetown, who literally cannot shoot the basketball. They are incapable of making shots, and Marquette, who has just been broken this year, at the moment. Seton Hall 4-1 in Big East play, despite their offense just being 9th in the Big East in Ken Pom. Small sample size, but wouldn't expect that here. But wouldn't expect a 4-1 record, with poor offense. But their defense has picked up the slack, being able to force turnovers and force tough shots. But UConn's just on a different level than that competition that they've played. In fact, the closest team that they've played to UConn, I would say, is Villanova, and they lost that one at home by 9 and only scored 56 points, which is kind of the script I'm expecting here. Something closer to that. And UConn's certainly better than Villanova as well. They're 5th ranked nationally on defense too, so I just think Seton Hall really struggles here to score. As long as Terrence Reed stays out of foul trouble, he's such a good rim protector. I think UConn is able to bounce back here after losing outright at Seton Hall last year, which was certainly a crazy game. But I do think they can win this one by 6 or more. So I'm going to go ahead and take UConn here for the final play. And that will do it for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you subscribe as you don't want to miss any future episodes. Enjoy your Tuesday, and best of luck.